Our speaker today. It's really a big honor to have Robert all the way from Oklahoma, United States, to come and speak with us. The last conference we were talking about business and gender balance and the obstacles that women experience in their business life, day-to-day career. And today it's all about personal development. Today is about learning about a tool or an approach that can help you with issues or challenges, anxiety that you have in your day-to-day life or in your work life. And Robert is the inventor of FasterEFT. He is a personal coach, life coach, and very well known. He travels all over the world. If you go on his website, the information is in our newsletter and on our site. You'll find more about it. You'll also see YouTube movies or films about interventions that he does. And it's really great to have you here. I want to let you know that this Saturday, as a follow-up of tonight, if you really like his approach, Robert's going to give a workshop as well at the Courtyard Marriott, for which you can sign up today. At the end of our session here, you can let me know, or maybe Sheila can help me as well. It's going to be 4 hours, and more information is also in the newsletter. It's 45 euros. It's really a great opportunity, and it's a unique opportunity because he's very fully booked, and it's not often that you have an opportunity to meet him and to take part in his workshops. So, I don't think I have anything left to say, Robert, than to say the floor is yours. Thank you so much for being here.
My name is Robert Smith. I am from Oklahoma, and everybody can hear me well, is that right? All right. I consider myself the stress expert, which basically means I know how it works, I know how to give it to you, and I know how to get rid of it. Most people don't understand what stress is, and usually if you take a course on what is stress, they'll usually give you the top 10 stressors. You know, new business, relationship, moves, children, the move of house, all kinds of things that cause stress. But most people don't realize that the number one stressor is actually you. Because you're in this class here with me, you could be stressed out, the person next to you may not. You may be worried about, oh no, he may call upon me. Oh no, he's looking at me. Oh no, I have so much things to do at work. I shouldn't be here. I need to get stuff done. But stress is an internal production based on what you do within you. And so what I have done is I have created the understanding of what stress is, what you do within you, and how to actually change it. Because you're all business women, your mothers probably, your wives, your grandmothers, your aunts. But the number one cause of all your problems, no matter what area you go to, is stress and emotions. Research has clearly shown that stress is the leading cause of death. Stress is the leading cause of suicide. Stress is the leading cause of relationship problems, and stress is the leading cause of your business problems. But how do you get rid of stress, and what is stress? Because see, I'm going to introduce you something that looks kind of strange, a bit odd, but I guarantee you, if you use it, it works. You know, I don't know which is more, I don't know which is sillier. You're stressed out, you're angry and upset, and you find yourself eating chocolate, pie, anything, drinking, smoking, yelling, beating something, trying to escape your stress. But I'm telling you, there is no escape but one. And I'm going to introduce you that one way to free yourself from the cause of all your problems. Because you can take two people, they both have the same exact skills. They have they're either great bowlers or great salesmen or saleswomen. They both have the exact same skills, but the emotionally intelligent one will outperform the other 2-to-1. Because I'm telling you, if you have a business meeting coming before you and you're stressed out and you're worried about it, what happens? First of all, you're not walking in with your personal power. Secondly, most people when they're stressed out, you know what they do inside themselves? They worry. I hope I don't mess it up. I hope I say this the right way. I hope I don't. And what they do inside their head, they manifest and produce what they say they didn't want, and then wonder why it happened after it's all over. because I understand how the mind works. And what I'll do is I'll introduce you to this, even though I know I have not very long. I'll say, how long do I have to speak?
About 1.5 hours.
1.5 hours. So I need to be sure I can see you where I know when I need to slow down. Okay, good. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go as fast as I can, and I will even demonstrate how to change your problems. First of all, what is stress? What is stress? Anybody know? Just kind of an idea. What is stress? You know?
I would say that it's the way you react to a situation, and that makes your heart beat faster, that makes your throat go dry, your hands go like this, and really sends you
Exactly.
speechless.
So did you hear what she said? Basically, stress is your body's reaction to something. Now, this is Robert's definition of what stress is. Stress is the body's reaction to perception. Stress is your body's reaction to perception. Now, by the way, we're all in the same room here. Some of you could be stressed out, and the only difference is how you perceive this event. You could be going to a business meeting, and as you're going to the business meeting, what you're doing inside your mind will determine how you feel. But see, most people, and I imagine probably 99.999% of you in here, if you feel bad, you don't know what to do with it. Isn't that true? You have bad emotion, what do you do with it? Well, first of all, we're all escape-aholics or avoid-aholics. Basically, what that means is, here's a marker, and this is a tilted world here. Stress. And whatever your stressor is, say for example you're going to a business meeting, say for example you have children at home, you got stuff that's irritating you, and you're bothered. All right, so most people, when they're stressed out, what they will happen to do when they bother, they will divert their attention and go to food. They will go to their attentions and they will clean the house. Not in all cases. Or what you'll do is you'll find something to do. Some people will go out and smoke. They will drink. They will go yell at someone. They will. Now, of course, I work with alcoholics, drug addicts, obese people. The program is exactly the same for all addictions. Most people have very little skill to deal with what they have within them. And so the best skill that we have is to ignore it, pretend like it's there, divert our attention, go eat something, smell something, drink something, and yes, even screw something, just to avoid what they feel within. By the way, let's say, for example, your best coping skill when you're bothered is to go eat food. And the interesting thing, the older you get, the more things happen without your permission, which means your children will move up and leave, people will die, events will occur, jobs will change, and if you have no coping skills to deal with your emotions and you keep running to food, what happens when you get older? You'll wonder why you've gained so much weight. Right? Now, if yours is smoking, like say for example, if you smoke to avoid your feelings, because by the way, smoking is a diversion technique. You know, and so here it is, say for example, the more stress in your world, the more you smoke. And of course, over a period of time, the smoking starts working out on your body. It starts causing emphysema, you can't breathe, you stink more, you know, who knows what it is. And by the way, it costs money. Now, if you smoke, that's fine. But here's another thing. What if you're always diverting your attention by doing something? Do you ever solve the problem? No. Because see, what we want to do is develop what I call emotional intelligence. Emotionally intelligent people will live longer. There's a guy in prison. He has 4 PhDs, but he's emotionally stupid because he lost his anger and killed somebody. Now, logically, here's a weird thing. People think, well, logically, I understand. But guess what? They have great understanding, but they still have the problem. So this is what I'm going to share with you, that no matter what you use to escape your problems, if you don't address the real cause, you still have the problem. Does that make sense?
Sure.
All right. Now here's something interesting. Inside you, we have memories, we have experiences, we have concepts and ideas that make you feel bad or make you feel good. Because how many of you know what triggers are? Triggers. You know what triggers are? Those of you who don't know, basically you're driving down the street and a song will play on the radio and all of a sudden you're triggered by the song and you remember something. It could be a pleasant memory or it could be a bad memory depending on how you are programmed with that song. Now here's the interesting thing. I work with people who have fears and phobias. And they say, it's the weirdest thing. I have this fear, but it only shows up in certain ways. Because normally you'd think it'd be here, but it's not. It'll show up in a strange place. And the reason is that your unconscious mind, which is the great recorder, will record information and put pieces together that you would never think they would fit together. But all of a sudden, you feel it. And you don't know why you feel it. Because the brain has created an emotional association. And to help you understand that is... I'm from Oklahoma. Of course, Oklahoma, I call it the Bible Belt of the world, because there's more churches than there are gas stations and grocery stores. All right? And so on the TV, they have commercials. And of course, this is what people who sell do this so well, is they'll take Michael Jackson and they'll put a can of Coca-Cola in his hand. If you love Michael Jackson, they see the Coca-Cola in the hand, their mind will associate the two together, and for some reason, you like Coca-Cola. The lady who I worked with who had an extreme addiction to Mountain Dew, which if you don't know what Mountain Dew is, it's a citrus drink, has lots of caffeine in it. And so she said, Robert, I have this horrible, horrible addiction. I can't get rid of it. I said, well, come on in, bring your addiction, which is a Mountain Dew. And we started using a weird process, and we started releasing the emotional attachments and the sensations, and this emotional sensation that was at the bottom of the taste in this can had a memory there. And this memory went to an experience. And this experience was with her mother. Now this girl was 5 years old. Now by the way, I'm working with her now, and she's over 50. At 5 years old, her mind recorded a memory when she was sitting at the dinner table. Her mother just made fresh, warm lemon meringue pie. And in that pie had a twang, a citrus taste, just like the drink she was drinking. So at the unconscious level, her mind kept saying, there's love in the bottom of that can. Now the weird thing is that we're conditioned like this all the time. The problem is we don't know how to decondition ourselves. Because some people will continually feel stressed all the time at the same place in the same way and not know how to break it. And so what I do is I train people how to do this. So here it is, I cleaned it all up and all of a sudden her addiction's gone. Chocolate is an addiction, all kinds of addictions I can help. Cigarette smoking, you name it, because the mind always does it the same. Now you've probably heard of this guy, Pavlov, and the dogs. Now what he would do is he'd ring the bell, feed the dogs, ring the bell, feed the dogs, ring the bell, feed the dogs. All of a sudden he rings the bells and the dogs are salivating, thinking they're getting something to eat. We are exactly the same way. Exactly the same way. But we can change our programming if you're in the right place. Because most of the world cannot change bad feelings. Now what I understand is that we are, how many of you know what hypnosis is? You know what hypnosis is? Now some of you probably seen it on TV. The guy has this watch and he guides you and all of a sudden they're like this. And then he gives a suggestion. Anytime I say the word blue, and only when I say the word blue, you'll quack like a duck. Right? And all of a sudden, he says, it brings her back out of trance. She goes and sits over here. And he's over here talking. Said, the other day I was walking down the street and I saw this blue shirt. This lady gets up and starts quack, 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 quack. Isn't that the same way that we've always acted when certain looks and experiences in our life? We just quack and not even know why we quack? Because see, we haven't discovered the art of letting go of what we have within us. And so what we want to do is learn how to do this. So hypnosis. Let me show you a hypnotic trance. It's, the best hypnotists in your world are your mothers and your fathers. Do you know that? They have hypnotized you to act and perform specific ways. You know, how many of you, I mean, I have a dad, which he's passed away, but my dad, I'm the oldest of 6 kids, all right? Actually, my mother, she was 14. She ran away from home. She came back home. She was pregnant. She gave birth to this little boy. I don't know who my biological father is, but from what I hear, he's a very good-looking, intelligent man. But my stepfather came into my life. My stepfather was the oldest of 9 kids. He was, and by the time my mother, she was 14, 15, she gave birth to me. By the time she was 19, she had 4 of us. All right, so here it is. I'm the oldest of 6. Now my father is my dad who adopted me. He was the oldest, and he was angry. He didn't have an education. He worked very hard, and he had a look on his face. And when you saw that look, the chills went right through you because something bad's getting ready to happen to you. All right, now this is a trance. Because here's the weirdest thing. My father was killed in an accident in 1990. 5 years later, I'm at the gym, and I'm working out, and I started talking to Marilyn, who owns the gym. And as I'm talking to her, one of the guys drops these big weights in a loud noise, and she looked at him. And that look was on her face with the same expression my father had, and I felt it like that. I go, oh, shoot. So I quickly left. All right, that triggered me, but I didn't know why. I just knew it was there. And so then, later on, after I discovered how to let go of my problems, I was at a restaurant with my wife at the time. And I was at the counter, and I said, hey, I think we have a coupon in the car. Would you mind going getting it? So she went out to the car. Now, this was a big cars. And I'm a man, as you can tell, and I like muscle cars. I don't know if you know what muscle cars that go really fast. Well, I built this car for her. It has these doors like this big, so like 100 pounds. And she opened the door and she broke her fingernail. When she walked in the door, I saw my father's look and I felt it. And I did something to change that look the rest of my life. I've never seen it again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do it. It's very simple, very easy. But let me explain to you how to change your life. Remember, if it's inside you, where is it? If it's inside you, where is it? It's inside you, right? That means, here's something interesting. If you have bad memories inside you, how fast can you run to get rid of it? How deep in the ocean can you go to get rid of it? How much chocolate can you eat to get rid of it? How much work can you do to get rid of it? How high can you fly to get rid of it? If it's in you, where is it? It's inside you. If you ignore it, is it there?
Yes.
Yes. Do you realize how many? Here's a question. I'm testing you. How many in this room would love to improve your memory? Raise your hand. Would love to improve your memory. Like to remember things. Now here's something interesting. I always ask the question, and 99% of the people raise their hand. I want to have a better memory. And you know why they want to have a better memory? Because memory is not permanent. Do you realize that? Memory is not permanent? There's a lot of things you've forgotten. And somebody said, well, Robert, why is it I remember the bad ones? I said, because the bad ones seem to be important to you. Do you understand what I just said? So and most people forget the good ones, but they made it important to them to remember the bad ones. And here's the crazy thing. The more the bad ones you see and remember, the worse life gets. So here it is. There's only one escape, and the escape is going where? Inside you. But here's the problem. You don't know how to change and deal with what's inside. Do you? We're emotionally a stupid culture. Well, world. I'm not just talking about Italians. I'm talking about everywhere. All right? Because we don't know how to deal with our stuff. Matter of fact, most of our best coping skill is to ignore it, pretend like it's not there. Does that make sense logically? Okay. Now let me explain a little bit about how it works. This is your brain. And in front of your brain is a couple of eyes. Now, what happens in our life as we grow up, we start to absorb the world. The world goes inside of our mind. That means we have memories, we have experiences, and these experiences are written on the cells of your mind. So, for example, you have an experience with your mother or your father or anyone else. As you experience this experience, the unconscious mind will write it on the cells of your mind, so it goes inside your mind. Now, here's the interesting thing about how it does it. I'll show you something really cool. Everybody do this. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes and remember something that makes you feel good, a happy memory. It doesn't matter how old you are or where it was. It could be anywhere. When you held your baby the first time, the cat, the dog, or anything that makes you feel good, remember it. Now, as you remember it, notice what you do inside you. How many of you notice that you have a picture inside your mind? All right, look at the image. Now here's the question. When you see this image inside your mind, if you have an image, some of you may just have a feeling, is the image in color or is it in black and white? Just notice.
No.
All right, are you looking at yourself in the memory, or are you as if you're in your body seeing it actually happen the way it did? Here's an interesting question. How many of you see yourself in the memory when you go back and remember? Raise your hand if you see yourself. All right. Interesting. How many of you just as if you're in your body seeing it happen in front of you? All right. Now let me help you understand. I am introducing to you something that is your mind. How many did you feel something when you remembered it? All right. Now, by the way, where are you right now? Here, aren't you? Do you realize what you just did? You went into a hypnotic trance. You felt as if you were there. You saw things and experienced it right now. Do you realize that? Because see, really, the real deal is, right now is real. The past doesn't exist unless you recreate it. Now here's the problem. It's good to keep all the good memories. Here's the weird thing. When I work with some people, when they go to their good memories, they see themselves in the memory and the emotions are less. But some people will go to their memory and they're in their body and the emotions are higher. Now here's the weird thing. They keep their memories. Some people will keep their good memories as if they're watching it like somebody else is experiencing it. But when we go to the stress memories, let's test this. Take a deep breath, close your eyes again. Now think about something that stresses you or bothers you. And notice how internally how you represent that. Do you see yourself? Are you in your body? Notice. Notice what you see. Notice that you're feeling that feeling as well, aren't you? All right? All right, now go to your good memory. Just jump over to the good memory. Remember the good feeling. See what you saw, felt what you felt as if you were there. All right, now look back up here. All right. What you just did is that within a split thought movement, you felt bad, you felt good. Just by the action of your thoughts, moving your thoughts around. Who is in control of your emotions? You are. Here's the problem. Inside of us, we have loads, many memories that are sitting there waiting for your mind to use. Good ones and bad ones. So if you want to have a brighter future, healthier life, live longer, make more money, better love, you got to do something. And that something is let go and make peace with the ones that hurt you and bother you. Do you realize today, some of you, maybe all of you, picked up a pencil or a pen and wrote your name. Used a typewriter to type words. At one point in your life, you did not know how to do that. You didn't know what letters were. They looked like squiggles on the chalkboard. But your unconscious mind started accumulating all this information, and then naturally, without even thinking on how to write or how to do anything, you just do it without even thinking. This is how you naturally create what I call problems. But the only way you can change it is you have to do something different. All right? So here it is. You have a mind, you have experiences, and the experiences are setting back inside your mind, waiting for the trigger, the bell, the look, the experience, the look, the smell, the location. All of a sudden you start producing feelings. Now, the interesting thing about the mind is the mind and the body, they work together as one big piece. It all works together. That means you thought of a good memory, all of a sudden you felt a good feeling. You thought of a bad memory, all of a sudden you felt a bad feeling. Who created it? And it's you. And the brain has a system that works without you understanding it, naturally. That means when you think of something, your mind produces it in the body. It means your heart will speed up, your heart will speed up, your breath rate will change, your digestion system, all your entire system responds to what you perceive to be a threat, good or bad. So here it is, inside, scientifically, they have discovered what the Chinese knew for centuries, is that there are meridians in the body. Now, if you don't know what a meridian is, basically, we have a blood system. That means the blood comes in, it goes all the way around and comes back in. We have a breath system, which brings breath comes in, it goes into the lungs, it goes into the blood system. We have an electrical system. That means your body, you'll eat food, it'll break it down, it'll turn it into energy, and whenever you think of a thought, it sends it to the entire body. That means it sends it to all the organs. The meridian system. So basically, what it does, it'll send electrical impulses to your lungs, your heart, your kidneys, your digestive system, your liver, wherever the liver is. All your organs respond to what you think. Does that make sense logically? Yes. All right. Now, even though, so how many of you never heard of meridians? Meridian system. Don't even know what it is, never heard of it. That's okay. You don't have to know anything. Okay? That's a nice thing about it. So here it is. There's a system. Now what happens is when you think of something, it's using the meridian system to send the message to the body, telling the body to respond. When you have severe stress and anxiety, your brain is sending a lot of electrical impulses to your organs, making your heart pound as if you're going to die. And it's all built from what? Experiences. It's just like the lady who had an intense fear of spiders. Intense fear of spiders. She goes, I have no idea why I have it. I just hate it. I think about it. I'm going to have a heart attack. I'm going to run out the door. Your daughter. And I said, well, why don't you come on up and let's see if we can change this fear. Now, by the way, while she's in the room, like you're here with me, you're here with me, and I said, think of a good thought, think of a bad thought. You are not actually back in the past, but it seems real because your mind makes it feel real here. I said, come on up. I said, how do you know you have this fear? She goes, I can feel it. I said, well, you feel it, but what happens before you feel it? Because before, there were no spiders being talked about. We weren't even thinking about spiders. There was nothing. And did she feel it? No. All of a sudden, the word spider, and in her mind, something happened. And I discovered what she did is she had a picture of a big, fat, hairy spider in her mind. I mean, it's like gigantic. All of a sudden, she feels it in her body. So what I did is I used something so simple, it seems bizarre, but it works. And I used what I call a tapping process. Basically, the brain is going to send the message to the body, and we use something as simple as this, and it changes the body's reaction to perception. And the weird thing is, it even changes the memory. So that means if you have lots of bad memories, and you don't want bad memories, you can go change every one of them, if you know how to do it. Now you think about it. Here it is, she had this horrible fear of spiders, and then she began to tell me a story. She said, it's the birth, I never thought about this. It only happened one time. I was sitting at the breakfast table with my brother, and he had this smirk on his face. And the smirk was, he goes, how'd you sleep last night? He goes, well, I slept good. Well, I gave you a present last night, and what I did is I took a daddy long legs, which is a spider with long legs, and I ripped all his legs off and put him in bed with you. And she ran up to the upstairs to pull her sheet back, and she screamed because it was there, and she didn't know it. All right, now this is experience one. Then she had this horrible experience with spiders. And then the next thing she says, I remember at camp. She was at camp, which is, like woods and, with her friends. And I said, I remember sitting on the toilet. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, it crawls out from under the seat. And she says, my husband, when he comes home, he knows there's a spider somewhere because there's a pile of shoes. Anywhere. Because I'm throwing them. All right? So here it is. She had this horrible fear. Now, how did she have the fear? It started with a brother and emotions, and all of a sudden she built an entire life. Now, by the way, guys, if you think about our problems, our feelings of being rejected, our feelings of being abandoned, our feelings of not being good enough, starts when we were children. Now, I do this all the time, guys. I ask this question. How many of you in your family is considered the black sheep of the family? You know, the odd one, the one that seems like I'm different than everyone else, the one who feels like they dropped me off at the wrong family and the wrong planet. Does anybody feel that way in your family? Sometimes. Because see, we know how to feel that way. So what we want to do is figure out how to change you. Isn't that a good idea? All right? So does this all make sense? So we have a process, I call it just tapping, and it works without you understanding why it works. Would you like to try it? And if you're skeptical, just do it and see what happens. Now, if you're afraid, don't even try to do it at all. Just feel your fear and notice where it's at. Does that make sense? All right. So let's do this. By the way, you'll do this in the privacy of your own mind. That means nobody knows what you're thinking. And by the way, guys, I am not psychic, I'm not intuitive, and I can't see any of your pictures. Okay? Trust me. All right, so let's do this. Let's test this to see if it's true. If you have a fear, if you have a phobia, or you have an experience that happened to you that you wish never happened and it bothers you, test this. All right, let's do this. Everybody take a deep breath. Close your eyes, and I want you to think about whatever it is that bothers you. Now, if you're concerned about doing this and afraid about doing it, just feel your fear. That's it. All right, now go back, see what you saw in your mind, remember thinking as if you were there, and notice how strong the emotions are. Notice what you feel. Notice who is creator of this. It's not me. It's coming from you. Feel it. Now, from 0, you can't feel it. 10, really strong. How strong is it? Make it stronger. The stronger you make it, the faster it goes. You got it? Make it stronger. Look at people's faces. See what you saw, hear what you heard. Feel it again for the last time. All right, now, do this in your mind. Imagine in front of you a tree. If I pull the roots from under the tree has no roots. You know what happens to a tree without roots? It dies, falls over, disappears. Everybody look at me. Take 2 fingers like this. 2 fingers. And do it even if you don't have a problem. Tap right here and say, I release and let go. Everybody else say it out loud. All sadnesses. Tap beside your eye, release and let go. All fears. Under the eye, release and let go. All emotional traumas. All guilts. Tap right here, I release and let go. Frustration. This is weird. That's okay if it's weird. I've done more weird things than this. Grab your wrist like this, take a deep breath. Blow it out. Say peace. Now go to your peaceful memory, anywhere in your life where you felt good. It could be the happy memory, anything that makes you feel good. And as you go there, remember and see what you saw, the good feeling. Then take a deep breath. Blow it out. And say peace. All right, now, let's go back to where you were, the memory that bothered you, and go back and see what's changed. Go back and see if you can still feel it exactly the same, and most of the time either it's all gone or it's lessened. Go back and see what's left. How many of you notice it's already changed some? Changed. Go back and feel what's left. Look at faces, feel feelings. Can you find it? You got it? All right, now let's do this again. Follow me. Just touch right here and say, let it go. Touch right here, it's safe to let it go. Touch right here, it's okay to let it go. Collarbone, I'm here to let it go. Grab your wrist, take a deep breath. And say peace. All right, let's go back to your memory. By the way, no one knows what it is except you, isn't that correct? All right, go back to this memory inside your mind. Can you still see it the same way? Can you still feel it? It's gone. Lucky you. Some of you still see it, can't you? Can you still feel it? A bit. It's a lesson, hasn't it? All right, notice what's left. You can feel it in your stomach, you feel it in your heart, or you may be looking at somebody's face. Got it? All right, now what I want you to do is I want you to touch right here and say, let it go. Now I want you to slide just like this. Let it go. Just slide over like this. Let it go. Go like this. Let it go. Just kind of look around like this and let it go. Deep breath. Peace. All right, now let's think about whatever it was that's bothering you. Can you find it again? Can you feel what's left? Notice it's lessening more and more and more. The question is, when you're done, this is how you know when you're done with a memory. It smiles now. The actions are different. The behavior is different. So if it isn't, you're not done. So you may look at faces. Look at your face. Look at their face. Look at the actions. See if you can find something there that could bother you. You got it? Just look in your mind. Notice how you're feeling more relaxed by doing this. Got it? That means your stress level is going down. And then what we want to do is, in your mind, with your eyes closed, pretend as if you were actually doing the tapping. That means pretend like you're touching between your eyes, but imagine you are. Let it go. In your mind, feel as if you're touching beside your eye. Let it go. Under the eye, in your mind, let it go. The collarbone, in your mind, let it go. In your mind, pretend as if you're grabbing the wrist. Take a deep breath. Peace. All right, now, notice inside your mind, this memory is different than when we first started. Isn't that correct? If it hasn't, some have, some haven't. Are the colors exactly the same? Is it in black and white now? Or is it farther away, or is it closer? Can you see inside your mind it's shifting? All right? Is there any emotions left here inside you with this experience? Does it look like it's happening? For example, say your dad and your mom, or you and your father said something, and it hurts your feelings. Is he saying the same words? Or is he saying something nice? When you saw this in your mind, did the memory totally change, disappear, or is it shifted completely? All right, let me ask you something. We did something, it was bizarre, wasn't it? It was a little different. And even what's even more bizarre about it, it actually changed something in your mind, didn't it? See, this is the interesting thing. You know what's the biggest fear that people have when changing their mind? They ask me, well, Robert, if I go change all my bad memories, who will I be? I said, don't worry, you'll still be you, but happier. And it's still you. Because see, here's the deal with life. I had a sister-in-law, and she was sexually abused as a child by a stepfather. She goes, Robert, if I address these memories and I change them, who will I be? I said, why would you choose a bad experience to give you an identity? Why don't you choose good ones? Because here's the weirdest thing about fears. This is the strangest thing that I've really worked with people. They have a fear of something, whatever this something is. The lady, here's a good example. The lady had the fear of having a panic attack, public speaking, public anything, going to the grocery store. All right? So she says, I'm sick and tired of this fear. And I said, really, how sick and tired are you of it? She goes, I hate it. I can't stand it. Now, by the way, the interesting thing about fears, and this is a Robertism, which is a saying, fears are affirmations. You know what affirmations are? Fears are affirmations. The more you practice your fear, guess what happens? The bigger it gets. The more you hate something, the bigger your hate is. The more you dislike something, the bigger the dislike is. If you're working in your business and you're feeling guilty because you're not home with your children, the more guilty you are feeling, the worse you become. Do you realize that? If you have a fear of making a phone call to bring more business, the more fear you have about it, the less business you'll have. See, here's the cool thing. If you get ready to make a phone call and you feel the fear, and if you do something like this, the fear dissipates. And you go back and feel the fear again. You do something like this. The more you do it, the easier it is to overcome it. Do you hear what I said? So here it is. She has this horrible fear. And you know what she did with this fear? She knows she needs to go to the grocery store. And so what she does, she starts thinking about panic attacks. That means in her mind, she starts playing memories of what panic attacks used to be like. And she says, I hope it doesn't happen again. And then she starts thinking about, oh no, I got a grocery store, and she plays panic attacks in her mind. She goes out to her car and she's driving. As she's driving, she's thinking about panic attacks. Her heart's pounding through her chest. When she gets to the parking lot, she imagines panic attacks, but she says, I don't want them. And when she gets inside, guess what happens? Because, see, again, she said she hates it, and the more she hates it, the more she gets it. So this is what I did. And this is the art of change. Now, I know what I'm sharing with you, for some of you it seems bizarre, and some of it makes sense. And the most bizarre thing about it, it works. And I promise you, I promise you this. If you feel the problem and you tap, the problem will fade away. You don't have to know what these points are. You don't know how. All you have to know is that it bothers you, what you're doing inside your mind, and you tap. You can check it over and over again. The more you do it, the better it gets. All right, so here's the art of change. All right. Anybody in here would like to improve their business? I mean, you'd like to improve your business? Yeah. Anybody would like to be happier? Right. Anybody would like to be more productive in life, you know? All right. So here, if you will use this formula and actually do the work, the actual work, you'll get it. All right. What I discovered when people come to see me, say for example, you came to see me and you have this problem. All right. Whatever the problem is, what I do is I look for what creates the problem. What is it that creates our problems? Anybody?
The time.
What?
The time.
The time?
Not enough time.
Not enough time. Well, that's a specific problem, but that's your problem, right? Not enough time. Now, by the way, how many hours are there in a day? Everybody has the same amount of time, isn't that right?
Yes.
But you have a pressure, right? So here it is. What is it that creates your problem, though?
Expectation.
Expectations, but what is behind expectations? What? I didn't hear. Well, definitely expectations. Say, for example, anybody in this room has perfectionism? Got to make it perfect?
Yeah.
All right, let me explain about perfectionism. This is the lowest standard you could ever have. As a matter of fact, give it up. You'll never be perfect. The reason why you have expectations because I bet probably as a young girl, you came home with your report card and you had a 98 and not 100. And your mother and your father says, where's the other 2 points? Right? See, what drives you to try to be perfect is oftentimes the pain of not being perfect. Do you hear what I said? So this is the formula. No matter where you go in your business life, if you do this formula and you actually do the work and change it, you'll get what you want. So what you don't want. Somebody said, well, Robert, aren't you a little bit negative? Well, what do you mean negative? She said, well, you're always focusing on the bad stuff. Why don't you just focus on the positive? Now, you know, it would be nice if the positive override the negative. And you know why it doesn't? How many of you have what you don't want in your life? There's a lot of things you don't want. Yeah. And you know why you have it? It's because you're good at it. That's why. You're good at having what you don't want. And you know why you have it? It's because inside you, you have recorded data on how to get what you don't want. And so what I have figured out, the art of change, is to change what you don't want. So say, for example, you have 2 dogs. One's a good dog. One's a bad dog. Now here's the deal with most people. They spend more time with the bad dog. They feed it, they play with it, they rehearse it, they think about all the bad things, and then wonder why they have the saboteur within. Because see, if you have a dog fight between the good dog and the bad dog, you've been feeding and playing with all your bad dogs for a long time, who's going to win the fight? The bad one. But if you start changing what you hold within you, so what I do is I start looking for everything you don't want. Say for example, in your business, what are your worst fears about your business? I would write them down. The worst of the worst about your business. All right? Now what happens if you write down the worst of the worst or the worst experience that you ever had about business and around business, and you go to the worst of the worst? These memories, by the way, when you write the worst of the worst about your business, do you feel it when you write it? Do you feel it when you write it? Of course. You know why? Because it's alive. It has emotions to prove that it's true. Did you hear what I said? Will you open that window for me, please? Yeah, I'm warm. Are you?
Yeah.
All right.
So, but do forgive me, I can't really read what you wrote.
Well, it's because I write in code. And this is artwork. But I'll tell you what I said. What you don't want. What you don't want. What you don't want. I'm really an artist, and I pretend to be a presenter, okay? You heard of Picasso, right? All right, I'm a Picasso. Leonardo da Vinci or something. All right, so here it is. Do you understand what I just said? What you don't want. So if you look at it, what you don't want is actually your biggest fear, isn't it?
Yeah.
What happens if you go to your biggest fear and you wipe it out to where it's not there? Guess what happens? You just do it without even thinking. The guy who came into my business, he says, I don't understand it. I'm just as good as these other guys. Matter of fact, I have more education, I work harder, and yet I make half the money they do. Half the money. And I said, this is what I want you to do. I want you to write down the worst of the worst about your business. What do you feel about yourself as a person? What are the worst experiences in your life? And all it is, we write this list down, everything that will hold you back. Then we actually started doing the work. What I will do is we'll go to this memory, whichever memory this is, and we start flipping the memory. Flipping means a bad experience, my mother yelled at me and said something bad. Now when we go to the experience, my mother is saying, I love you and you're the best child I've ever had. All right? So you actually change what you hold against you. So you take the worst memories and you start making peace with them. As you make peace with them, what happens is you'll get what you do want. By the way, you have to understand, your current relationship, your current financial situation, your current life, your current emotions are successes. If you're feeling miserably depressed and alone, you have to work hard to have it. You have to do all the right things inside yourself to manifest and produce it. So what we do is we start taking every bad memory and we start changing them to what you do want. Now you know what the problem with that is? This is the weirdest thing, and I mentioned earlier. If you start changing all your bad memories, the first thing you'll say, well, who am I going to be? Because you say you want this, but in reality, it's not what you want. Because if you wanted it, and if you are in alignment with it internally, you already have it. Because there's plenty of successful parts in your life. Plenty. Those aren't your problem. The problem is that the areas that you don't have, and the pains that you hurt and bother you. So then we start changing the memories and we're making it positive. Now as you start flipping the memories inside you and you start making peace with them, all of a sudden your worst fear is not there. You change it to your greatest asset, which is I am, I have, I do. Then you ask yourself, who am I? If I had this, who am I? Now here's the biggest problem, as I mentioned earlier. Some people say I want something, but in reality they only want it and they don't really want it. Because if they wanted it, they would really have what they wanted. Because again, if this has all the emotions in it and this one has very little emotions, which dog wins? whichever has the strongest emotions. So what we do is we go to what you don't want and totally eliminate, change, and transform everything that hurts you and bother you, that keeps you from getting what you want. Now the magic is, now you can write this list, what I do want, and in your mind you can write what you want. Logically, it could work, but not usually. And I'll tell you why. Logic will never solve your emotional problems. Do you hear what I just said? Logic will never solve your emotional problems. If it were true, your life would be better. It's like the lady, I threw a plastic spider on the floor and she's screaming and climbing the wall over here. I said, it's plastic, I know, but I still feel it. Because see, the emotional system is different than the logical system. It has its own system. And that is, the mind makes it real in the body. Make sense? So who am I if I had what I said I wanted, but actually you don't want, because of what you do have within you is what you actually want, and you keep getting until you change it. Who I am, and then the fourth part is, who am I in 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, and 20 years? And then what we're doing is say how your future changes. Does that make sense? No? Yes? No? Yes? No? All right, we can close that again. Thank you, sweetie. All right, so let me demonstrate this. Let's see, how can we demonstrate this in a way that you can see it really happening? In your business, is there a specific aspect about your business that you know that bothers you right now if you to think about it? Anything specific? Do you have something? I mean, what I'm asking, would you like to come up here and let me change it for you? Or something you say, right now I have a fear or a phobia, right now I have something that I would love to change. And by the way, guys, if, say for example you have something, you don't want anybody to know it, I can still change it. Anybody would like, hey, let me ask you something else. Didn't I tap on the whole, didn't you all tap with me today? Did you change something without me knowing what it is? Yeah. Well, some of you didn't, but most of you did. All right? All right, so I can help you change something without her telling me. So you have something you want to change.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
The stress, the like lack of time, and like a lot of things to do, and trying to be perfectionist, and I don't know how to give up the perfectionism.
Okay, perfectionism.
I feel like if I take all the tasks and I say, okay, I don't do them, then I'm giving up or I'm not doing what I have to do. So I feel I have to do all these things and
Okay.
I cannot give them up without being not being responsible.
Okay. Y'all want to, okay, won't you come on up? You don't mind talking about it out loud? And can you hear very well?
I hope I don't express everybody.
What? We may not use this.
Yeah.
All right, come over here by me. All right, so first of all, this is a common emotional pattern. So tell us again what the problem is.
I feel I have too many tasks to do in my life, and when they come all at the same time, some unexpected, some planned, I feel when I try to prioritize, I don't have enough time to finish everything in one day, so I accumulate.
And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
And it gets like I never finish.
Now, anybody else have that same feeling? Same experience?
Yes.
All right. Now, right now when you talk about it, you can feel it's true,
Yeah,
right?
I feel it really.
Right.
Yeah.
And how many, I want you to look at her face, listen, tell me again, give me an example, for example.
For example, today, my husband was leaving at lunchtime to go to China. My baby was in the school. My mother arrived yesterday to help him with the baby. I have a customer visiting the office at the same time that my husband was waiting for the taxi that I was organizing. And I have the landlord waiting for a letter that I was supposed to post him. So
But
I
you
didn't know
didn't.
if to listen to the landlord, to go quickly because my husband is going to lose the plane, and then I have to photocopy a contract for him to take to China.
And you can feel it right now?
Yeah, I'm shaking already.
All right. From 0 to 10, you can definitely feel it.
12.
All right. 12, okay, good. Can you make it higher than a 12?
Probably 100.
Can you do it right now? Close your eyes.
I can really feel it. I came here like she almost has to take me here, like to relax, right? So.
All right. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes and feel it.
Yeah.
Just feel all the pressure. By the way, feel your pressure too. Feel your pressure. Pick out something that bothers you. You got it?
Yeah.
Notice in your body. Notice how you know.
I feel it here.
All right. Notice that feeling. All right. Now, everybody, even if you don't have a problem, follow along. Just tap with me, okay? Say, I release and let it go.
I release and let it go.
It's safe to let it go.
It's safe to let it go.
This is my reaction.
This is my reaction.
All the pressure on me.
All the pressure on me.
All the burden.
All the burden.
I release and let it go.
I release and let it go.
Take a deep breath. Peace.
Peace.
All right, let's go back. I want you to feel the pressure. Everything pulling on you at once. It was like up to 100, you said.
Yeah.
All right, close your eyes. Feel it again. Notice how strong it is. You got all these people pulling at you.
I still feel it here.
You still feel it here. It's smaller than what it was when we first started. Isn't that
Yeah,
correct?
before it was here and now.
Okay. Say it's okay. Let it go.
It's okay to let
I'll
it
do
go.
the best I can.
I do the best
That's all I can do.
That's all I can do.
I give up my sainthood.
I gave up my what?
Sainthood. I don't have to save the world.
Okay, I don't have to.
I don't have to be superwoman.
I don't have to be super.
I'll just do the best I can.
I have to do the best I can.
That's all I can do.
That's all I can do.
Deep breath. That's good. And peace.
Peace.
All right, let's do it again. Think of all this pressure on you. Everything's coming at you at once. Can you feel it?
Yes.
And it was really, really strong. You still know it's there somewhere, right?
Here, very
Right.
warm.
All right. All the heat.
And the ham.
All the heat. All the
heat,
feelings.
All the feelings.
Just let it go.
Just let it go.
Deep breath. Peace.
Peace.
All right, now let's do it again. Now tell me about everything's going on. You got this, everybody's pulling at you. Can you feel the pull?
Yes.
It's not as strong though, is it?
No.
Say, I can only do what I can do.
I can only do what I can do.
That's all I can do.
That's all I can do.
If I tap on my pressures,
If I tap on my pressure,
I'll live longer,
I live longer.
I'll feel better,
I feel better.
I'll get more things done.
I get more things going.
And it's okay to get it done.
It's okay to let it go.
Deep breath. Peace.
Peace.
All right, let's do it again. The pressure of today. All right, tell me about what was going on this morning.
Okay. I woke up like at 6 o'clock. I was.
Any stress with
looking
waking up at
the
6
email.
o'clock? Any stress
No,
at
in that moment, no.
Okay, good.
In that moment, I was fine. I started looking at the emails.
Any stress with looking at the emails?
Yes, a lot.
All right, feel the stress. You got it?
Yes.
All right, let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Safe to let it go.
It's safe to let it go.
Just let it go.
Just let it go.
Deep breath. Peace. All right, look at your emails. Can you still feel the email stress? All right, then what happened?
And then I have to prepare the breakfast and
Can you feel the pressure of preparing breakfast?
no.
All right, go on.
Easy. Then I have to. The baby woke up, so it was shouting.
Any pressure with the shouting?
Yeah, yeah,
All right, all the shouting,
yeah, all the shouting,
all the pressure,
all the pressure,
being shouted at.
being shouting
I
at.
got to do a good job.
I have to do a good job.
Let it go.
Let it go.
All the pressures. Peace.
Peace.
All right, the baby crying, shouting, can you feel it? Not as strong though, is it? Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go. I got to be a good mother.
Yeah, I have to be a good mother.
Let it go. Peace.
Peace.
The baby's crying, shouting, can you feel it?
Yeah.
Not as strong though.
Yeah, no.
How much is left? Just feel it. You may listen to the words, you may hear the tone, whatever it is. You got it?
Yeah.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Safe to let it go.
It's safe to let it go.
I'm doing the best I can.
I'm doing the best I can.
Deep breath. Peace. The shouting babies, can you feel it? Can you hear it? Can it bother you?
No.
All right, then what happens?
And then I'm losing my memory now. I don't remember all the things. Like it was the people who cleaned my house. They came and I was trying to organize them.
Can you feel any pressure with this? Organizing them, what to do?
No, because the baby was behind doing popo, and then I had to change her.
Any emotions with changing poo-poo, all this stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
she was very hysterical, so I
All right,
had
hysterical, let it go.
Yeah.
Hysterical, let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
I
Let it
let it
go.
go.
Deep breath. By the way, each one of these little pieces are actually emotional states. And actually, when you clean each trigger, each emotional thing, you'll be at peace. You'll handle things more effectively, and you won't let it bother you. All right, the baby poo-poo hysterics and the emotions.
Do I have to think of all the things? Because then I get more stressed, right?
Well,
I'm trying to forget them.
Well, yeah. See, here it is. Let me ask you. If you try to forget them, where are they you trying to forget? Are they still inside your head?
I think I just felt it was a very stressful day, but if I go back into each thing, I will get more stressed, I think.
If you don't know how to get rid of it. We're getting rid of it.
Okay.
Now see, here's what we've always done, guys. If you have bad events, what we do is we push it back there. Where is it back there?
Here, in the brain.
So is it gone?
No.
It'll always be there until when? Until somebody rings the bell and all of a sudden you're slobbering.
Yeah.
So this is what we have to do. We have to decondition ourselves to be in control. Because see, we've always kept our crud inside of our head and we felt bad. And the more crud you have experienced, the easier it is to feel bad. So what you do as you experience life, if you figure out how to let it go, as you experience, you'll make better decisions, quicker, clearer, and better. What happens usually when you're feeling bad and you make a bad decision, all your references are bad from the decision making at the time. So what you do is you tap. You tap on the emotions, you tap what happened, you tap on the hurt. When you're crying, tap and let it go. Then make a decision, because when you release the emotions, your decisions will be a better decision. Because why? Your references are better. It doesn't matter what area of life, whether it's work, relationships, finances, any area. You'll clean up your life, you gain control. This is so simple, it's bizarre. And you know what? Let me tell you, it's weird. It's weird to do something like this. But I tell you what, this weirdness gives you peace. Which is more weird? Suffering through it and then have to go get doctors and get little magic pills and take pills? Beating furniture, drinking, smoking, and screaming and yelling? Which is more weird? Something like this gives you control. The other stuff builds problems.
One question. Is this work or the breathing? Because I feel when I breathe, I relax.
Well, it's more than one thing at one time.
Everything.
It's all at once. Because
If I don't do this.
But I promise you, if you have a problem, you go like this, it usually doesn't change.
Okay.
Unless I set your brain up.
Okay. So this is related to the
But-
meridians?
So, yes, here, let me explain. You have the memory inside your head. You have this memory inside your head. As you think about it, you say, if I think about it, I'm going to feel it.
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right. Now, what we did is we go to the memory and we tap. All of a sudden, when you go back to memory, you can't feel it anymore.
Yeah.
All right, let's check it. Remember this morning when you look at the emails. Look
Yeah.
at it again. Can you feel stressed with it?
Yes, really.
Can you feel the stress?
Yeah.
Really? Is it as strong as it was when we started?
No, because now I'm thinking of another email that I received.
Okay. All right, let me explain what she did.
Yeah.
She looked at all the emails we tapped and it didn't bother her. Then she said, yeah, but I went to another memory.
I went to one email.
Yeah, you went to the first one. Now you're going to a different one.
Yeah.
By the way, you tap on everything inside your mind.
Okay.
So now she has another email that she wasn't thinking about.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, who created the stress?
Me.
All right, who's in control of your stressors? You are.
Me.
If you discover the art of letting go, you're going to heal. All right, now we went to another email. By the way, we weren't talking about that email first.
Yeah, no, the thing is, I have to go and pick up the visa for my husband to go to China, and then I have to answer a long, long email.
All right, feel it
in
right
less
here.
than 5
All right,
minutes.
all right, feel this pressure, less than 5
I
minutes.
feel it really strong.
All right, good. You got it? Now notice how strong it is and you can feel it. All right, so I release and let it go.
I release and let it go.
This pressure,
This pressure,
all the words.
all the words.
Make sure I do it right.
Make sure I read, do it right.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Deep breath. Peace. All right, long email, you got to write this, and can you still feel it?
Less.
All right, notice what's left. Let it go. Let it
Let
go.
it go.
Let it go. Now, guys, you can tap with me. You get free
Let it
changes
go.
this way. Peace.
Peace.
All right, let's do it again. Think about this long email you had to do. You had to do this stuff. Can
Yeah.
you feel the pressure?
Less. Much less.
All right, notice how much.
From 50 to 20.
50 to 20. Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
It's safe to let it go.
It's safe.
It's
to
just
let
my
it go.
reaction.
It's
I
my
handled
reaction.
it. I handled
I
it.
handle it.
I did the best I could,
I did the best I could,
and I'll do more.
and I will do more.
Deep breath. Peace.
Peace.
All right, again, the email, can you make it bother you?
Much less. Yeah.
Like,
I
is
feel
it-
more relaxed.
Is it 0?
Could be, see. Very, like, I feel like I don't want to think more about
Well,
it.
can you make it, all right, here it is. It was a 50 when we started,
Yeah.
is that correct?
Yes.
All right, go to it, bring it back to a 50. Is it a 50?
No.
How strong?
30?
30, okay. And that's disappointing, isn't it? Now, when you think about this 30 experience, how do you know it's a 30?
I feel it in the body.
All right, this,
I feel
all right,
here.
so how big, like is it tight?
The hands. The hands.
All right, say, all this pressure on my
All
chest.
this pressure in my chest.
All the feelings in my hands.
All the feelings in my hands.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Deep breath. Peace. Now, I will tell you this, guys, the more you do this on every part of your life, the easier life gets and less things bother you. All right, go to the email again. It was a 50, it was a 30. How strong?
Probably 0, no?
All right, all right. Now, you started out up here, you're really stressed out about the events of the day. All right, think about the events of the day. Tell us what happened today.
Okay. The thing is, I'm trying myself to forget it.
Well, I don't want you to try to forget it, I want you to tell me about it.
Okay. Now, in my mind is the moment that we were with the taxi. They're waiting. I have to print the contract.
Okay.
The other guy's waiting for some documents.
Right. So now, remember when we first started, you had all this stuff in your head.
everything.
Now, the emotional stress level before we started was much greater than it is now.
Yes.
Like when we started, it was 100. You said.
Yeah.
And how strong is it now? The children, all this stuff.
By 20.
20 of the whole thing. So here we went from 100 down to a 20, and we didn't tap on everything yet.
Yeah.
All right. Who is the creator of your stresses?
Me.
It's your reaction. Now, here's the deal. If you try to forget the problems, they're not forgotten. They're stored in your head. But if you go to your problems and you clean it up, tap it out, clear it out, you gain control. But I'm telling you, your best coping skills, our best was to ignore it, pretend like it's not there. The older you get, now here's the deal. The older you get, the more this stuff builds up inside of ourselves. And then all of a sudden it starts coming out in weird ways, weird places. So what you have to do at your current age, if you work you now, your future from this moment forward will be brighter. It'll be better. You know, some of the best people that have come to my seminar, and the luckiest ones of all, are when they're 18 and 20 years old. Because you have to realize your problem started when you were kids. And the best gift you can give your kids is a healthier you. Because I'm telling you, you're going to teach your children how to be just like you.
Yeah, that gave me stress.
Of course.
Because I want to make sure that I what you were saying, right? Like I am more with her, like I don't work, like my idea would be not working, forget about everything, like doing only things for my baby.
Yeah, but again, the best gift you can give your baby is who?
The health of me.
And how are you going to get healthier?
Eating well and being relaxed.
How are you going to get relaxed?
I would try the tapping.
Some people are a bit slow, but she's catching on. You're absolutely correct. Because I'm going to tell you, isn't it true, guys? Haven't most of your problems come from home? Of course. Now, did your parents give it to you because they just want to give it to you? Or they gave it to you because that's all they had anyway? Yeah. So the best thing you could give your children is discover how to let it go. To actually change your response to the world. Change your fears, change your phobias, change your anger, change your stressors. Make peace with yourself, inside yourself. And as you do that, you'll interact with your children totally different. Because I'm going to tell you, you're going to respond how they responded to you. So I always tell my clients, and I'll tell you, as you're working yourself, the best place to find your healing is to go back home. Family reunions will stir up your problems. Tap on your mother, your brother, your stepfather, your aunt, uncle, whoever it is that bothers you. This is an opportunity. And it's not an easy journey because you have to do one thing, and that is go here. And that's the scariest part because who knows what's in there. But you can change it all by doing something so simple. Feel it, feel what you feel. What do you say when you do it? Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Peace. Now you feel your stress level has went from 100 to
20.
20. And we could spend more time in doing it. How much time do I have left? 5 minutes? Okay.
But we can give the opportunity to somebody, right?
We don't have much time.
Okay.
It's all over.
Okay.
Thank you. Give her a hand.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let me recap some very important things about how to do this. First of all, it's super, super simple. The toughest part is actually taking ownership of what you do inside yourself. If you feel it, feel it. Notice where you feel it. You tap. You can tap with one hand. It doesn't matter which side you do it on. You can tap the other side. If you're really serious and it's really boiling up, do two hands. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Now as you're tapping, first you aim at what bothers you inside. Notice what it is. Then when you tap, move your focus to your fingertips. That means feel your fingers. Feel your fingers, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. And then go back, peace, and go back and check it. Keep doing it over and over again until you totally change the memory to where it's positive. First. Secondly, you could do it covertly. The best thing to do is, here you're going to be with people in a business meeting and you're going to be stressed. What you do is you can do it like this. Or you can do the thinker. Somebody knows that you're a tapper. You know you're a tapper, like in your relationship, you're both tapping, and they say you need to tap, and you're angry and you don't want to tap, and you can tap like this. You can mentally tap in your mind, as if you're tapping. You can do the sexy Kate. Many ways to tap, but whatever you do, aim at inside you, and release and transform it. And if you don't, what's going to happen is you're going to do the same thing you've always done. The problems will build over a period of time, and it will get you in the end. Choose your death wisely. But I choose to live a happy, peaceful life. And the best way to do it is take complete ownership of what you do inside you. And it's not them doing it to you, but it's your response to them. You can change you. You can't change them. God knows you've tried. It hasn't worked. Work on yourself first. And like I said before, the best gift is giving your children a healthier, loving, emotionally wise you. And I do have a seminar this weekend. I think it's here somewhere.
Information is in the...
Yeah, the information is in the brochure.
Could you say in a few minutes what are you going to teach in this 4 hours?
In the 4 hours, this is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to go over, this is just a slight overview. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to address specific issues related to whoever comes. Say, for example, you come to the seminar and you say, Robert, I need help in sales. I need this. So what I'm going to do, in 4 hours, I will give a short intro about basically what I have here. Unless everybody is going to be here who's from the seminar, I don't have to cover everything. And I'll show you how to do it, and we'll educate you on how you do more. And that's the whole purpose, is to educate you and give you more. And I have lots of stuff that I can give you for free, and that'll educate you and empower your life the rest of your life. So that's what I'm going to do. So you bring your problem in. And by the way, for example, she came up, and how many of you kind of associated what she was feeling and what she was talking about, and you can feel your reaction to it? Now most people, because I'm a man, I don't know if you noticed that. I'm not into the energy woo-woo stuff. And basically what I'm saying, you didn't feel her emotions. Your emotions were stirred up because of her words. So what we want to do is give you power to change your life. And that's what it's all about. Just show you how to take control and how you get better results. And that's what I'm going to cover. Thank you guys. Thank you.